Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Partners in Crime. I'm Kaylee,
And I'm Caroline.
and this week we're going to be reading two stories again, and Caroline's going to start first.
Today we're going to be talking about the Wichita Massacre. It was a killing spree in Wichita, Kansas, and it lasted from December 8th to the 14th in 2000. It resulted in 5 people dead. That's including a dog.
No.
That is not including a dog. And 1 person injured.
Wait, what? You said it's including a dog, and these
5
said no.
people dead plus a dog.
So 6, including the dog.
5.
5 people, including the
Yes.
dog? Okay.
No.
No.
5 people
Yes,
plus
no.
a dog.
Okay, we'll leave it
Died.
at that. 5 people plus a dog.
So it transformed the city that you didn't really have to lock your doors into a town where people started getting guns at very much increasing rates after this event. So it was committed by the Carr brothers, and there are 2 of them. The oldest one is Reginald, and he was born in 1978, and there's a younger one, Jonathan, who was born in 1980. They both had a sister named Regina, who was in between them, born in 1979, but in 81, Regina was diagnosed with leukemia, and very unfortunately, she was overtaken by the disease by her 3rd birthday. So this is where you can kind of sense that maybe not everything is okay with the brothers. Jonathan, the younger one, had a very normal grieving reaction to Regina's death, but then Reginald simply detached himself and showed no emotion towards the loss of his younger sister. And as time passed, it kind of showed that he was not able to form any empathy towards anyone. So the death of a sibling can affect anyone negatively, but not having a stable, positive household for them to receive emotional support only worsened it. They had a terrible home life. Their parents ended up getting a divorce, and the father left, never saw him again. And the mother started going out with boyfriends and leaving them alone by the time Reginald was 6. And so the younger brother's only like 4 at this point, and they're fending for themselves. And it was during this time where they started drinking and having sex while still attending elementary school.
Oh my god.
So,
That's so young.
6 years old is when it started.
Who are you having sex with at 6 years old?
One of them was his cousin. And then it was just like kids in his neighborhood. It's so, yeah.
That's crazy. So did all of that happen after the sister died? So the sister died young.
Yes.
Okay.
When Reginald was 4, and then Jonathan would have been like 2. And also during this time, at age 7, Jonathan attempted to hang himself. His first suicide attempt. At 7 years old.
Oh my god.
At age 13, Reginald was already a gang member and dealing drugs. In the 8th grade, he was suspended from school for sexually harassing a teacher, and he later fully dropped out of school at age 15. At age 17, Reginald was arrested for robbing a bookstore, but he only received probation. But not long after this, he was arrested again for various charges such as assault, robbery, and was sent to prison. Reginald's incarceration worsened Jonathan's depression, and Jonathan ended up drinking antifreeze to try to kill himself again. Thankfully, he was rushed to a hospital and had his stomach pumped, so he was all right. But in the spring of 2000, Reginald was released from jail, and in the fall of 2000, they both moved to Wichita from Dodge City. So this is where the crime spree begins. They didn't waste much time. So on December 8th, the pair committed armed robbery against 23-year-old baseball coach Andrew Schreiber. The story went that they pulled up to a gas station, and Reginald pulled a gun to the guy and was like, get over into the passenger seat, which he did. And then Reginald ended up pistol whipping him because he wasn't moving fast enough, and then Jonathan got in the car, and they took him to an ATM for him to take his money out, and then they drove him out to a field, and he thought he was going to die because they told him, like, get on the ground, put your hands above your head. And he said he heard gunshots go out, but they were only shooting his car, because they had brought their own car out there, and they just left him to die. To not die. They just left him out there.
So he didn't die?
He didn't die.
Okay.
He didn't. 3 days after that, the pair attempted to carjack 55-year-old librarian Anne Walenta. Sweet lady. I saw a picture of her. She looked like a grandma.
Oh, no, not the Grammy.
So she tried to drive away because she was already in her car, but they shot her multiple times. And a neighbor called 911 because her head went forward and hit the car horn.
Oh.
So he called the police, and she ended up going to the hospital. So on December 14th, around 11 p.m., the brothers broke into a home that belonged to a group of friends. The friends' names are Brett Hecka, who's 27, Heather Muller, 25, Aaron Sander, 29, Jason Bedford, 26, HG, 25. Her real name has not been disclosed.
Just HG?
Just HG. And HG's dog, Nikki, and Jason and HG were dating, and everyone else was just friends. So the brothers broke in around 11, and they forced the group to unclothe and go into a bedroom closet altogether. This is where it gets kind of a little content warning, maybe. So for over an hour, they would bring 2 of them out at a time and have them perform sexual acts on each other. It started with bringing out the 2 women, Heather and HG, and having them perform oral sex on each other. And then they brought out each of the guys to have sex with HG. And Aaron was practicing to become a priest, and so he was like, no, I can't do it. So Aaron refused. He was like, I can't do this. And they hit him with the butt of the gun. And then they had HG go back into the closet, and they brought Heather out. And they were like, okay, have sex with her. He was like, I can't do it. You know, this isn't right. You're not going to make me do this. They ended up beating him with a golf club.
Jesus.
And was like, go back in the closet. And then they brought out Jason and Brad and made them have sex with Heather. So, I mean, that's pretty traumatic.
That is so traumatic.
Like you're friends with these people and just like, I don't know, thinking about that.
I have I don't know what to even, they shoved them in a closet and one by one was like, okay, you gotta.
The only pair that they were like, you guys can't have sex was Jason and HG. They found out they were dating and they were like, nope, can't have sex. And then, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
That's so weird, yeah.
It's like a big power move. Like, this is the only thing that would make you comfortable.
Yeah.
In a way. And you can't do it. I don't know. I thought that was strange.
The whole thing's strange.
Mm-hmm. So after this series of traumatic events, Reginald took Brad to the ATM to withdraw his money. While Reginald's gone, Jonathan brought out HG and raped her. Reginald came back and then took Jason to the ATM. And while he was gone that time, he then raped Heather. Jonathan did. And then Reginald came back. Reginald raped HG. And Jonathan raped Hannah again. So it's just, I feel so bad for these girls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these are your last moments. So after this, the brothers began to ransack the house for valuables, and they ended up finding this coffee can that had an engagement ring in it, and Jason was going to propose to HG later that month, and that's how she found out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so...
I assume they die.
Wow.
Wow.
This would be a true crime without it.
Yeah.
After this long night of torture, the Carr brothers drove the group to a soccer field and ordered them all out on their knees and told them to look away from them. They were all shot execution style, but only 4 of the 5 died. HG was wearing a metal beret. The bullet hit it and deflected, and she played dead, and then they left. And as the brothers were leaving, they ran over everyone. So they ran over HG as well, but she, just stuck with it. I assume didn't scream. That's so much pain. So they ended up driving away. The Carr brothers drove back to the house that they were at, and that's when they killed the dog. Nikki. R.I.P. Nikki.
They just shot the dog.
Just shot the dog. Could have left it alone.
Oh my god, they could have left the dog.
You know?
What terrible people.
So not the murdering of everyone else, but the
No,
dog.
like the whole thing is terrible people. I wasn't just saying the dog, but they could have left the dog alone.
Right. So back to HG. She ran to a house and called 911. And based on the tips from the community, the police arrested Reginald and Andrew Sniper, the guy from before, who they just left in a field. He was the one who positively identified Carr as one of the men who robbed him earlier that week, and then Jonathan was apprehended when his ex-girlfriend's mother called the police on him. And it was Ann Willetta who identified both brothers out of a lineup before she succumbed to her gunshot wounds and died. That's really
Wait,
sad.
the old lady?
Yeah.
No.
She was alive long enough to identify them.
Well, at least she got him.
Yeah. But, the brothers were charged with capital murder, aggravated kidnapping, robbing, rape, and animal cruelty, and they are both sentenced to be executed. They're still alive though.
They're still on death row.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Wichita Massacre. It's really...
That's a heavy case.
Yes, I had actually never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
It was all random,
Yeah.
which is the worst part of it. It didn't matter who you were. They just came up
they
to you.
were their friends though, right?
Mm-mm.
I thought you said it was a friend group.
All of the people in the house
The
were
people
friends.
were friends. They weren't friends with them. Okay, I misunderstood that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, so they had just moved there, like a couple weeks.
The friend group, or the
Carr brothers.
Oh, okay.
They moved to Wichita
Okay.
and just started murdering people.
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
that is terrifying.
Like,
especially to like a small town of people that just think everything's, like nobody's gonna rob you, harm you.
right.
It's like everybody. And then
So
these
scary.
two guys just come and ruin all of that. HG though, that's some crazy, like, she just laid there
That's
and
an act
get
of-
run over. Like, no sounds. The fact that it hit a hairpin,
Right. And whoop.
that's crazy.
It's like, I want to know the percentage of that.
It's
happening.
very small.
Right.
There's no way. I wonder how big it was.
I mean, this was early 2000s. You know,
So
that shit was
probably,
clunky.
yeah, a clunky
Yeah, big.
hairpin.
Right. But no, that's a heavy one.
That is a heavy one. Well.
Now into another heavy case.
It's not as heavy.
Hmm.
It's kind of short, but I saw this on Twitter just by chance, and I was like, what? Like, I audibly said what when I read the headline because it was so crazy. But on Christmas Eve in 2011, William Wallace allegedly killed his wife, Zazelle Preston, by pushing her into a glass coffee table.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Okay.
The incident occurred during a violent argument, and Wallace's attorney says that his client was being accused of something that wasn't his fault because apparently she got really drunk and fell into the table.
Okay.
But it's been reported that he had threatened to kill her before, and there was a lot of domestic abuse in that relationship.
Not good.
So he probably most likely did it,
Allegedly.
but the article said allegedly, so
We can't get sued.
yeah, I had to throw the word allegedly around. But someone was quoted saying that full of arguing and yelling, but also love about their relationship. I don't think that's love. I'm not sure how that goes together, but
If your man is threatening, if anyone is threatening to kill you,
it's not love.
not a relationship
Yeah,
you need to be in.
Get out.
Go find other people.
Yeah. But on Christmas morning the following day, he took her body, propped her body on the couch, put sunglasses on her, and let her sit there while their 3 children opened their Christmas presents.
He watched Weekend at Bernie's a little too many times.
Yeah. The kids were 8 years old, 3 years old, and a 7-week-old baby.
No.
Yeah. And their dead mother was watching.
Okay, maybe I could get behind it if she fell and he immediately called.
No,
But then
he never called.
Yeah, exactly. You set the... When did she die? Like, how many days
She died
before
Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And Christmas morning, her body was propped on the couch.
I didn't want to ruin Christmas for the kids.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, Mommy got drunk and ruined Christmas, is what he said to the kids. He was arrested later that day, on Christmas Day, and he was put...
Who ratted him out?
I don't know. I never found that, like, who figured it out. Maybe the kids kind of, like, went to a neighbor, or a neighbor heard something. I don't know what happened. There's no information about how he got found out. But he was arrested later that day and has been on first-degree murder charges since then. I don't know why this was just being reported recently because I saw 2 articles that day, like on different social media places. It was in 2011. I don't know why it happened now. But I thought one of the articles named him as a Florida man, and it was like Florida man kills wife and props her up on the couch, and I just thought that was funny because, like, all the Florida man memes that had happened before. But it happened in California. It happened in Anaheim. But he was apparently from Florida. I don't know.
There's something there.
But yeah, that's the rest. That's all of it. That's all I could find. I don't know why they were reporting it.
I bet, like, his parents or, like, the wife's parents came over for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And they were like,
she's dead.
She's dead, buddy. What are you
What
talking
did you
about?
do?
She's fine.
Yeah.
She got drunk.
Got sunglasses. She's hungover.
That's it. Don't bother her. She had a rough night.
Like, oh my god. Like the 7-week-old baby.
I wonder if he... Okay, here's my theory.
Yes.
Based off nothing.
Mm.
I want to think that she did fall. She had a drinking problem. Okay. And she was spreading rumors saying that he said he was going to kill me. And actually, he's a loving husband. This is all theory. And so she fell, and then he was grieving because he loved his wife, would never hurt her. And then he knew he wouldn't be strong enough.
But I mean, like, if you fall into a glass table and hit your head, I feel like you might be able to be saved if it's not that bad of an injury, if the ambulance was called at that moment, which they weren't. So you're gonna take the man's side on this one?
I would like to do it.
Why? This man really propped her up.
It's like, it's easy to be like, yeah, he's wrong. I don't know, it's just fun.
I mean, I understand, but
if I was a lawyer and I had this case, I would take that. I'd be like, this is a little puzzle for you.
Yeah.
She died. Because, okay, it's not like a Bates Motel type thing where she had been dead for like months.
And when he was dressing up as her.
You ever hear about...
Bates Motel is a very good show, by the way. Everybody should watch that.
Okay, so I know we have said that the article, he had a history of beating his wife.
You don't trust that article?
I don't trust the article.
I mean, not all articles are true.
Hot take, everyone.
I mean, they're not. But, like,
Sometimes
I'm gonna go, fake news as...
So you agree?
No! I think that he did it because he was in jail for beating his wife. If that's true, allegedly.
One source.
Okay, but, like, I just feel like multiple things I've seen on all the articles, there was something about him beating his wife or threatening to kill her. And sure, she could have lied about it, but I'm not going to take a man's side.
Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. So, that happened 10 years ago, and he still hasn't been sentenced?
He's in jail. He got arrested
Is he in jail for, like, but he hasn't been sentenced yet?
It said first-degree murder.
Like he's actually charged. Because, okay, here's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
If he's just in jail because he's the main suspect and he hasn't been able to get out on bond, what is taking so long?
This article was released 7 days ago, and it said here, murder trial, Orange County murder trial. So I guess the trial is just now beginning.
Exactly.
That's why there's articles about it. Why has it took so long?
That's what I'm saying. If it was 10 years ago and he's still being sentenced, I think they're having some trouble being like, okay, like finding the cause of death.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could obviously say, we think you pushed her.
Yeah.
But then she fell.
But I mean, the kids, well, I guess they were probably asleep.
Also, they're children.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, they're older now.
Yeah,
the case was presented to jurors Monday, and this article was published March 9th, so whenever that Monday was. Last week. I don't know. The trial began this past week.
I want to say innocent till proven guilty.
I mean, obviously innocent.
On this
till
one
proven
only.
Guilty. I'm sure the family's like, he did it. Like, her family.
But they haven't come out with a cause of death.
I mean, they did. Like, she fell into a glass. She hit her head.
Mm-hmm.
That was the cause of death.
I don't know. I want to see the toxicology report.
You want the evidence.
I
mean,
obviously,
you're innocent until proven guilty. I agree with that. So, okay, fine.
What was her BAC? Was it high enough to the fact that she would be stumbling?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like there's more to it, and I just want it.
Yeah, well,
I want to be on the jury.
If
the jury.
if there's more updates, because this is ongoing trial,
Mm-hmm.
we'll provide the updates from this episode. Your case is over though.
Dead and gone.
Dead and gone. Been gone since. When did it happen? I don't remember.
2000.
2000. That's
21
years ago. Yeah, that was crazy. Very heavy. HD is a trooper. Honestly.
Her dog though, like, you kill all my friends
She was
and
the one
my
that
dog.
was gonna get engaged though, right?
Yes.
That sucks.
Can I tell you something crazy that I didn't mention?
Mm-hmm.
I heard one podcast talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
They said that when she got to the house where she had them call 911, she was like, don't do it yet, because she thought she wasn't going to survive. Because I think she had, like, internal bleeding from being ran over.
Yeah.
And she sat them down and was like, here's my story. And made them, like, repeat it until she thought that they could, if she died,
That's
they would
smart.
Well, I thought, like, why not be like, hey, go ahead and call the ambulance.
And then I'll tell them when they get here.
And then, like, while they're on the phone,
that makes
I'll go
sense.
ahead and start telling you then. I just thought that was kind of strange.
Or she could have wrote it down. Yeah,
Something.
there's better ways to
And
go
then
about that, I guess.
She made them call her mom and also her boyfriend's parents to tell them what was happening.
Before the police.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Partners in Crime. I'm Caroline.
And I'm Kaylee. And tune in next week for another case.